Hey there, G3XE here, and today I'm doing part 2 of Dark Vengeance walkthrough, getting into 40k. And part 2 is going to be expanding from the original Dark Vengeance box set itself. I'm in a good mood today. As you can see, I have my Aviato mug, if you guys ever watched Silicon Valley. I got some piping hot coffee there, and as you can see here, I have 3 codecies. Now, we have the Chaos Space Marine Codex, the new Traitor Legions supplement to that codex, and the Dark Angels Codex. Now, I play Dark Angels and Chaos Space Marines when it comes to 40k. I am, I do Dark Angels as my, quote-unquote good guys, and Chaos as my quote-unquote bad guys, although the 40k universe, I mean, there's a little bit of both, in both, so a bit of the yin and yang thing going on. You understand? So, let's see, first part of this video is going to be, should you buy the codex, or the codecies? So, the last one we talked about how to put together models, how to read the rules, and all that. Now, the little data slate it gives you has kind of enough little basic rules for the models for you to play games, kind of, but they leave out a lot. And one thing I would preface this with is that an awesome application called BattleScribe is free online. And BattleScribe has all the rules for all your armies. It's an army builder program, but you can essentially use it to, I mean, some things might be confusing because you don't have like a book that gives the background to what the name means, but it'll pretty much tell you the rules. So, for instance, it might give you Veterans of the Long War. It'll say that in BattleScribe, and it'll just say +1 leadership and gains hatred Space Marines, which are rules, and that is applicable and everything. But you may not know, well, what's the Long War? What does this mean, Veterans of the Long War, blah, blah. But it does give you the point value. So if you want to build lists and you don't want to drop $50 for this, check out BattleScribe. Great, great resource, great tool. And, but granted, the codecies give you some awesome reading, and they also allow you to build your lists kind of as you look through it. I find it easier to build lists looking through the codex, because I'm just like, it has, codexes will have, pictures of all the units, and then what they do, I don't know all the units by name, for most armies, so in BattleScribe I'm like, wait, which one's that again? You have to have the GW website open. But these will give you their special rules, their stats, which ones, how many you can add to the unit, and honestly, I'm a very hobby-oriented gamer, so I kind of just tab through and I'm like, ooh, that model looks cool. I want to pick up that model. That sort of thing. So, unfortunately, these are going to run you around $50 new. 50 US dollars, each one of these. Get them used, I would say. I got these over the course of 2 years. So, I mean, don't go out and immediately buy it. Just try BattleScribe out first and everything. But let's say we're going to see which one out of the Dark Vengeance box set, which way you go. Is it worth it to buy the Dark Angels Codex? Well, this is a meaty codex. It is actually about the size, might even be a little bit bigger. No, it's a little bit smaller. But it's about the size of these two combined. It's much thicker. The whole first, let's see what is in it. So, the whole first section, this much of the book, is just lore. So it's like lore, and it describes exactly what all the units are and their backgrounds, so you kind of understand who they are, and the background of the Dark Angels chapter themselves. Then there's a whole section about the different successor chapters, the different paint jobs, what the different companies mean, and if you really are into the lore, this is like a guide to, okay, I want to do this company and this sergeant and blank, blank, blank. So that section. Then it goes into the heavy metal, which is just like the really cool artwork and paint jobs. pictures for a little bit. Then you get to the actual meat of the codex, and that's all the units and rules and war gear, which takes up the rest. Pretty standard affair, not bad, and certainly cool. Unfortunately, now with Chaos, you're going to have to buy 2. Technically, this is the one you need. This is the base codex. This is only a supplement, so you can't just buy this. This will have all the stats for the units and everything. And same kind of deal. You have... It's just a little bit older, so it's not as, I guess, pretty as the Dark Angels one, but you have artwork and descriptions of all the units. And I actually think this is the best lore to read. It's super, like, just cool. Then you have the heavy metal paint jobs and everything. And then you have all the rules. And the rules don't have pictures with them, unfortunately. It's just text. But this codex, by itself, a little bit underpowered in terms of current meta. But, you know, so says the internet. Maybe you can figure out a way. I mean, there's some certainly powerful lists, especially when you combine it with demons. But what Traitor Legions has done, this codex supplement, is really beefed it up. And this is full of like 9 different legions that you can declare allegiance to, and they work similar to chapter tactics with Space Marines. And what they give you is like different bonuses if you follow their rules. So for instance, if you're going World Eaters, which are like the Khorne guys, all of your guys have to be Mark of Khorne, but you get Veterans of the Long War for free, you get Fearless, and you get Khorne Berserkers as troops and stuff like that. And you unlock full of different war gear for those specific things, different detachments. It's pretty cool. The front of it is just a little bit of lore about each of the chapters, or I'm sorry, not chapters, the Traitor Legions. Then you have the formations and detachments. Then you have, it starts to go, you know, Legion by Legion, so the Black Legion, and it gives you Warlord traits, their specific tactical objectives, and some artifacts that can be taken. And they all have different bonuses and everything. I really love it. It's super cool. The only sucky thing is you have to get 2. Honestly, though, if you want to play Chaos, this one is beefy enough. It took me forever just to understand everything in this, because Chaos is one of those where even just in this codex, there's so many different ways you can take it. Whereas, like, Space Marines and stuff, it's like, okay, well, do I want to... You pretty much know what you're going to get. You're going to get some tactical squads, maybe scouts. You're going to get some Terminators. You're going to get some Rhinos, you know, Devastators, tanks. Chaos is super up to you. You got the 4 gods allegiance, or you can go undivided, but you can go Noise Marines and Raptors and like because all the marks of Chaos change their stat line. So like Nurgle gives +1 toughness, Khorne gives rage and counterattack. So essentially an extra attack when you charge or when you are charged. Slaanesh +1 initiative, and then Tzeentch's +1 to your invul save. And so you can just make some really interesting units, like having a pack of Chaos Spawn who all have, you know, rage and counterattack if they're Khorne or something, and then they already get D6 random attacks. So like, I don't know, there's a whole bunch of cool combinations, very customizable. I guess codex by itself. So don't feel like you have to go out and buy both these immediately. Even in the HQ slots, for for Chaos are awesome. You have things from sorcerers who cast, like, you know, dark. Well, first you have named characters. You have Karn the Betrayer, Armon, Huron Blackheart, Abaddon the Despoiler, Typhus, Lucius the Eternal, Fabius Bile. Yeah, okay. So you got your generic Chaos Lord, but you can mark them up and give them badass things, so you can really make them your own characters. You got Sorcerers, Demon Princes, which, as you guys know, I have and is typically my Lord. Warpsmith, which is like, if you're doing a lot of Demon Engine stuff. Dark Apostles, if you'd have tons and tons of cultists and you're going Horde Army. There's just so many different ways you can take it. that if you're at all interested in chaos, I mean, it's fun. So that is my thoughts on these codices, if you should get them or not. And then the second part of this video, we're gonna look at just two lists that are better than the list provided by the generic card you get in Dark Vengeance. They're two 750 point lists using the models you got in the Dark Vengeance box set, so that you can with the special rules and explanations and everything. So let's get over there. Hey there, G3 back, and here is the two 750 point lists. Just pulled up in Excel. I'm not very good at Excel, so I hope this isn't totally confusing. But on this side, the left side, we have Dark Angels, all the units, and then the points. And then on this side, the right side, we have Black Legion, and this. Now, this is going to be using rules from the new supplement, Traitor Legions, for the Black Legion. Makes them a little more competitive. And so these are with models you have in the Dark Vengeance box set. So take that little data slate thing I gave you with their list and toss it out the window, except don't, because it actually has some good reference stuff on the back. But use this for battles. You can even take this straight to either one of these lists, I think, straight to a shop and play a 750 point game and have a pretty competitive, well, I'd say, moderately, you'd have a good army, let's say that. Okay, starting out with the Dark Angels. So a lot of things they point out, or that they have written on that little data slate, they don't really explain why they have those or anything, so have some explanations as well. So you have the Company Master. That's the guy with the big sword. He's going to be your HQ. There's going to be a CAD with 2 troops and 1 elite and 2 HQs. Here's what the Dark Angels have specific to them. It's called a Relic Blade. It's a giant 2-handed weapon. Strength +2 AP3 melee. Then I also gave him digital weapons upgrade, which says you can re-roll 1 to wound roll in close combat in each combat phase or whatever. And a conversion field, which gives him a 4 invul save. Now, for each successful save in this save that's made in this way, you have to take a blind test for for other guys in the Company Master's unit, and then if they might get blinded, but 4 invul is always nice, and then m.bombs. If I don't detail the thing in gray, that means you can find it in the core rulebook. Then you got your Librarian, your Psyker. I upgraded him to level 2, okay, so he can generate 2 psychic powers and has 2 warp dice or whatever. M.bombs, digital weapons, conversion field, those are the same as up there. Auspex is different. Auspex, you can shoot at a target, doesn't count as shooting for your shooting phase, but you do it in the shooting phase, I believe. And it reduces cover save by 1. So the Librarian could be attached with a tactical squad, and he could actually shoot his Auspex at a different unit that the tactical squad shoots at, and then a different unit might shoot the one targeted by the Auspex, and then it would have its cover save reduced by 1. If that makes sense. Alrighty then, and I would recommend doing Biomancy for his thing, but you could, experiment with different psychic schools or whatever. Taking the 10 Space Marines you get, divide them up into 2 units of 5. So we have Tactical Squad 1. This is a Veteran Sergeant, so he's been upgraded to Veteran status with Melt-bombs and a Plasma Pistol. And then this squad also has the Plasma Gun. Okay, the Veteran Sergeants have Leadership 9 and 2 attacks instead of their lower counterparts. The second Tactical Squad is going to also have Veteran Sergeant with Melt-bombs, and except he's going to have a Storm Bolter, so that'll be 2 attacks even when you're more than 12 inches away. And that unit will also have the Plasma Cannon as its specialist, okay? So Tactical Squad 2 is going to be your ranged people. This is going to be your more, not assault, because, it's, it is, Dark Angels are more of a shooty army. You don't really want to charge him, but these are your more close fighters, okay? Then you have, for your elites, the Deathwing Terminator Squad, and they're just as, they come 1 Assault Cannon, 1 Chainfist, but also a Relic of the Unforgiven. That one is so, it's very difficult to explain, so let me get out my codex here and or it's just such a long thing I didn't feel like typing it all out. It's also important to say that everyone in the Dark Angels shoots Overwatch at ballistic skill 2, meaning that you will hit on 5s and 6s rather than 6s. That's why I mean it's not really close combat army, because like you want to get your Overwatch in. The Perfidious Relic of the Unforgiven. A Perfidious Relic of the Unforgiven is born to battle by a Relic Bearer. A Relic Bearer is represented by a separate miniature that will always remain as close as possible to the unit that selected it. The model itself is purely decorative and is always ignored for game purposes. Just move it to one side if it gets in the way. Remove the Relic Bearer once the unit that selected it has been completely destroyed. Models in a unit that contain a Relic Bearer carrying Perfidious Relic of the Unforgiven have the Adamantium Will and Fear special rules. So there's a lot of hullabaloo to say, okay, they get Adamantium Will and Fear, you know. But apparently it's this big old banner, and you could do some fun conversions with it or something like that. Alrighty, also, Deathwing. They have a special rule known as Deathwing. Any model with... that has Deathwing, which I actually think the Company Master also has Fearless and Hatred Chaos Space Marines. So both these units are going to have hatred against each other, so they reroll failed to hits in the first round of combat. So that's 750 points of Dark Angels. Now we are going to look over here at the Black Legion. So this is a CAD, but it is declared as a Black Legion detachment, meaning that it has certain restrictions, can't have, well, I don't need to go into them, but essentially it's Black Legion. And they get, endless hatred. So they have every unit with Veterans of the Long War can reroll failed to hits against armies of the Imperium in all combat phases, I believe. So, your HQ, your Warlord, I should say, is going to be a Chaos Lord, and he is a beast, okay? It's going to be the Chaos Lord model that you get in Dark Vengeance. Try to keep this WYSIWYG as possible, but he has the Spineshard Blade, which is a Black Legion artifact. So, you know, he has that big sword with him. It gives him +1 initiative in close combat, AP3, and it's a demon weapon. Demon weapon, at the beginning of the fight subphase, you roll a d6. On a 1, you are reduced to weapon skill 1, take a wound, and initiative 1 for the end of the turn, which sucks. But on anything but a 1, you add that many attacks. So it's a little risk, but it could be really good if you roll high or even just moderate and you get those extra attacks, especially with AP3. So yeah. He also has got the Skull of Kaer Nagar, which gives him Adamantium Will and Eternal Warrior. Those are both in the main rulebook. He has the Mark of Nurgle. Black Legion is Chaos Undivided, so they can have marks of all different stripes. That gives him +1 toughness. He has Veterans of the Long War, like I said, +1 leadership and hatred, Space Marines. He has the Sigil of Corruption, gives him a 4-up invuln, and Plasma Pistol, and a Combi Melta, and Melted Bombs. So this dude is loaded up. He can shoot you from far, he can shoot you from mid-range, and when you get into close combat with him, you better watch out. You better not cry, you better not pout. I'm telling you why, because this Chaos Lord is coming to kill you. Okay, no, Chosen. This is your one of your elites. Well, actually, I take that back. They're troops, so they have objectives secured, because under Black Legion, Chosen are troop choices as well. So, with them, you get, let's see, actually, what does it say? Oh, yeah, okay. So you get, they all have Veterans of the Long War, they all have Mark of Khorne, giving them Rage and Counterattack special rule. One of them is going to have the Power Fist, one's going to have the Twin Lightning Claws, the champion has a Power Maul, and then 2 Power Axes. The one model you get that's already supposed to be chosen with a Power Axe, as well as the Varash Tattersoul model, that like little individual bonus model you get, put him into this unit and count him as a chosen with a power axe. Then the champion has a power maul, and you know, it does not really on him, but I upgrade him with the icon of vengeance, which gives them the fearless special rule, and they all have m.bombs. Or yeah, he has m.bombs. Sorry, not all of them. Let's see. Then we go down to the Hellbrute, the big awesome walker. It has the walker special rules that are in the main rulebook. Upgraded its gun, which is usually a multi-melta, to a twin las cannon, twin link to las cannon. Really good. And then also upgraded its power fist to incorporate a heavy flamer. So it's got a little hole where its palm is. It can shoot, in the shooting phase, a heavy flamer out of that, as well as still having the power fist. Makes your Hellbrute far more deadly. Then you just have the 2 units of cultists. The cultist Mele, which is the ones with the pistol and the close combat weapon, and the cultist range. Those are just the names I gave them. Cultist Mele gave them Mark of Nurgle, so they're going to be toughness 4. They're going to have that 1 flamer, and then the cultist leader with the shotgun, he's going to hang out with them. You're going to want to, you know, assault with them, or at least I would attach your lord to them, and that would give their unit fearless, so they don't run, and use them as like a human shield to march your lord up the battlefield. Then you have the cultist range. They're just 9 auto guns and 1 heavy stubber, and since they're a troop, they have Auspex, so I would put them back on an objective and just have them pelt people from way down the field. And there you go. That is the Black Legion 750 points. So if you get the Dark Vengeance box set, I would recommend using these to battle. Not because the thing that gives you the little data slate, the points aren't even balanced on that. Like, that's about like 640 something points for Dark Angels on that, and like 400 something for Chaos. So this at least is, you know, I guess, quote-unquote balanced. I mean, war games are hard to balance anyway. But hope that this has been useful. Go ahead and just take a screenshot or something, I guess, of this. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching War Game Talk.